I know that the organism that you discovered and that you named is called Cyanoraptor. Why did you call it Cyanoraptor? Hey everyone, welcome back to Science in Shorts. This is a new episode and we are here with Dr. Julie Bethany-Rakes. And she's an expert in microbiology and environmental life sciences. And her research is on a particular microbe called Cyanoraptor. More on that in a minute. But before that, Julie, would you mind taking one of these jarring questions?
All right. Should some areas of knowledge be considered immoral to pursue? Are there forbidden research lines? Wow.
Wow. That was intense.
I would say that there are some areas that we probably need to be a little more careful about pursuing. So some of the things like perhaps genome editing in humans. However, I think that oftentimes in different societies they pursue them anyway. So I think we need to be a little more thoughtful about it, but there should be nothing off the table.
Interesting. That's very interesting. So just caution. Like,
yes.
It's not like, no, don't go there at all, like restricting it entirely, but be cautious about what you're researching and maybe more importantly, how you use that knowledge, right?
Yes, and maybe have some guidelines, some established guidelines so you're not just going into it without any thought behind it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I love that so much. Okay, now to your area of expertise. I want to start by asking, what are cyanobacteria? I know these organisms are a big component of what you study. So what are they?
So they're these super cool microbes that photosynthesize, and they're found throughout the world, but where I specifically study them are in biocrusts. So in desert environments where they actually are foundational for the establishment of these communities. So they provide a lot of fixed carbon for other microbes and then allow other organisms like algae to establish.
So it's teamwork that they're doing there.
Yes.
They take elements that are in the atmosphere and they transform them in such a way that other organisms can use them too.
Yes.
Correct? So they are fundamental for these communities to exist.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that the organism that you discovered and that you named is called Cyanoraptor. Why did you call it Cyanoraptor?
So cyano means blue-green, so we're looking at what used to be called blue-green algae, but are now known to be bacteria. And then raptor as in some sort of like bird of prey. Because this organism attacks cyanobacteria, it is a predatory bacterium, which means it uses live cells as prey or hosts for its replication and to gain nutrients or a food source of some type.
And is it at the expense of these other organisms?
Definitely.
Okay.
So it attacks and it actually will penetrate inside the host and then consume it from the inside out, resulting in the death of that cyanobacterium.
Okay, so I guess we are using the word predator because it's in some way analogous to animal predators, right? Like a bird or a tiger that preys on another animal.
Yes.
In this case, Cyanoraptor uses cyanobacteria as its prey, and it uses it as a factory or as a home where it can grow at the expense of cyanobacteria.
Perfect. Yes.
Wow. And is this something that we only see here in the Phoenix area, or is it a large-scale problem all over the world?
So it was specifically found here in the southwestern U.S. in Arizona. However, when we look using DNA probes, we actually find that it's found on 4 different continents. We're going to probably be continuing to look for it in different locations around the world. Right now, our ability to look into that using DNA is limited because we only have so many surveys of these areas. So we're definitely going to expand that.
So it seems to be widespread, but we're still looking. So far, we found it in 4 different continents.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So we think because it's there, it's probably worldwide as well.
Yes. Do we have a particular problem that this infection is causing?
It's destabilizing these important biocrust communities, and it results in a loss of productivity. So it's very important that these organisms produce oxygen. Obviously, we need that as well.
Yeah.
And it's killing off these organisms wide scale, and it produces what we're calling plaques, or these large areas of clearing in biocrust. So
It's like a circle, right?
Yes, like a circle. So any of the benefits that we see from these biocrusts are definitely being attacked by this organism.
Yeah, to learn more about biocrust, you can actually watch our last video with Dr. Corey Nelson, but he briefly explained that biocrusts are very important for soil, to keep the nutrients in the soil, and also to prevent airborne diseases from being carried into the air. Now, what this pathogen, can we call it a pathogen?
Yeah.
What this pathogen is doing is it's destroying that beneficial community, and of course then the consequences of that is not having biocrust, right?
Yes,
Or
exactly.
having a reduced effect of them. So interesting, Julie. So one last question, where do you think your research is leading?
So I think we definitely need to know more about this particular organism, continuing to study how it impacts that environment and biocrusts. But I also think we need to go on and look and see if there are other predatory bacteria, to see if it's detrimental to other services within the crust, because they're not well known in the environment. Their impacts are not well known. So this would sort of fill in both biocrust literature and research, as well as just general microbiology and predatory bacteria research.
Wow, that's fantastic. Julie, thank you very much for being with us today. If you want to learn more about Dr. Julie Bethany's research, we will leave the links to her published papers below in the description of the video. And again, Julie, thank you very much. And thank you to all of our viewers for watching this video. Goodbye.
Bye.